Calling out hypocrisy. I think that one of the ultimate things for being able to be happy is honesty, full honesty and truth. And so when we're living around other people who are not being honest or true to themselves, it is it's harmful to our soul, like something inside of us can tell that something's off. And I grew up with that a lot where things looked really good on the outside, but then underneath there was secrets that I didn't know about for a long time. And I still have no idea what half of those secrets are. And I think that not knowing is the thing that hurt me the most. And so I think that calling out hypocrisy, like whenever something feels off or when someone's not acting the way that they say that they believe in, like if their actions are not aligned with who they say they are, if their actions at work are different than their actions would be at home, that's a big clue. If they are secretive in any way and don't want you to know certain things because or don't want you to meet certain people or struggle with wanting to impress other people, and so they put on this persona, and then when you come home and the door is closed, the persona comes off. These are all different ways that hypocrisy shows up. And the thing is it hurts us too when we act this way. We're not being true to ourselves. We're not being who we are. We're being someone else. We're pretending. And maybe it gets us a goal in the end. It might get us some money, or it might get us some prestige, or it might get us, whatever it might achieve. That inauthenticity is it's stress adding onto our shoulders. It is trying to keep track of all those different lies, all those different pieces, all those different aspects that you have put out there into the world that could come crumbling down on you. And if you're not being true to who you are, you're really dishonoring yourself. And unfortunately, I think that a lot of people really don't know that they're not portraying what they're saying. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know so many people who are so desperate to be good people, and myself included. And sometimes the things that I'm doing are really coming out as being shitty. I don't know these things until someone calls me out on it and we can have that discussion, right? So having these discussions is so important because we learn from them, other people learn from them. We understand where maybe some of our habits or patterns or past conditioning is and making us portray something that we don't mean to portray. And so that is a really important thing to understand. First of all, so that we're not judging other people so much. There is a lot of judging people right now, and maybe for good reason. But I think that those things, maybe they've been forced into it by other people. Maybe they don't realize they're doing it. Maybe they honestly think this is a good thing and they don't understand why it's not good. And the only way that we can fix these things is by having these discussions. And I don't mean just you did this, you did this, you did this. That doesn't help anything. So my big struggle right now is I'm seeing a lot of that finger pointing. And so my hypocrisy is actually that I'm starting to judge people as soon as they start talking, assuming that they're just pointing fingers, and I'm not understanding that maybe there is some more depth to it. And so I start going into like, nope, you have to do things this way. And right, it that's not good. That's not okay. I don't want to be that person who is judging without giving a chance. And so, yeah, it's really hard to know unless we have those conversations. And you can't have those conversations unless you call someone out on it. So, today's a day to be brave and say the thing that's been on your mind. Say it in a nice way. Say it, be like, plan it out. How am I going to make this happen? How do I want to tackle this discussion so that it can actually be a discussion and not just finger pointing? So it doesn't trigger their fear response or their aggression response or their fight or flight, protect and you know or destroy. So yeah, today is a day to figure out how to tackle those conversations and make them happen.